Someone was having, trouble with their mom, like she was in a nursing home for a couple of months until she brought her home and she started taking Brain Boost and DMG from Nutritional Frontiers. And it's given her a new outlook on life. Her memory is 110% better, and she's happy to get up every morning. And she's definitely a new woman and a new mom. So it's
Oh,
pretty incredible to see the impact that our formulations have. We are making the world healthy, one person at a time.
welcome to the Holistic Truth Podcast. I'm Jamie Dorley, CEO of Nutritional Frontiers.
And I'm Kristine Genovese, creator of the Soul Intelligence Method. We're here to help you break through chronic disease and dysfunction physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically.
With real proven strategies, protocols, and tools you can use in your practice today. Are you ready, Kristine, for an incredible topic that affects everybody?
What do we have next?
Well, we're going to talk about healthy aging, not anti-aging, but healthy aging and one of the most important organs in the body, the brain.
Ah,
And I know there's a lot tying into the mind, body, and soul on this one. And, it's interesting because we were talking last time about how the brain can burn up to 30% of your energy.
mm-hmm.
So if people are depressed or anxious, it's tying into the brain function, but more importantly, energetic factor. You have any comments on that?
Sure. I think we have to think about reducing like brain inflammation, detoxing our mind in particular. How do we start clearing out that fog and getting our brain to be sharp? So I look at it mentally, emotionally, and physically. So the first thing is like, what are you feeding your brain? It's not just impacted by food, but it's shaped by our thoughts, the information, and the energy you consume every day. So think about like, what do I watch? What do I read and listen to? What do I surround myself with? Who's in my life? Do these things uplift me or drain me? If your mental diet is filled with like negativity, fear, or stress, it's time to shift towards content that nourishes your mind and soul.
Yeah. And it could be people, places, things, right?
Yeah,
And
like that person who sends you a text and you see their name and you just cringe on the phone. Like, do I really want to talk to this person right now? Are they going to be an
the
energy
answer is no.
vampire?
Yeah.
I
But
mean, the second thing associated with the brain is addressing the root of overwhelm, like healing those emotional blocks. If your brain is inflamed, it might be signaling that something deeper is out of balance. Like, what emotions are you suppressing? Or why do you feel powerless or overwhelmed? Like, what aspects of your life make you want to check out or escape? Many of these emotional patterns are buried in our subconscious and make them difficult to access. So, my method, Soul Intelligence, can help clear those energetic blocks and help bring clarity and healing and alignment back into your life. Now, the third thing you can do is to support your brain physically with key nutrients and biohacks. And so I know today we're going to talk about healthy aging and how to combat brain inflammation, focus on those anti inflammatory foods and high quality supplements and natural remedies. So I'm ready for what you got.
oh, absolutely. So we really want to talk about the difference on the medical approach versus the wellness approach. And I think people often feel like they have to choose one or the other. The medicine and the surgeries have their place, but they can't be the first line of therapy.
Mm.
So we talk about at Nutritional Frontiers the great pyramid of health. And you can't build your house on quicksand and you can't build your wellness on quicksand either. So what we need to do is address the foundations of health, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, and then build up the pyramid with your prebiotic, probiotic, and enzymes so we can maximize absorbability, assimilation, excretion. Then we'll look at the micro and macronutrients that we can take every day to help build. And then we get into the essential fats and the phytonutrients. Then if someone says, hey, I have high blood pressure, what do I do?
Right?
It's a lot easier to solve the problem when you've built the pyramid rather than going straight for that medication.
Mm.
So the cool thing about the Great Pyramid of Health is you can accomplish this in really one shake per day. What shake is that?
Anyone you want, but it has to be by Nutritional Frontiers.
Yeah, so you can do the ultimate shake, the super shake, the collagen, the keto, the whey, and then add any of the colors on. So That's the greens, reds, oranges, purples, and the chocolate greens. So what's your favorite shake a day?
My favorite shake a day. I've been kind of going off the board lately. I'm gonna call it the chocolate raspberry martini. That's probably my favorite.
Oh,
Hey now. So, you can take any of our chocolate proteins. So we have chocolate super shake. Sometimes I'll do our chocolate ultimate shake. Sometimes it's the clean collagen protein, but I'll take a chocolate base and then I will add in sometimes our GI complete raspberry, sometimes power fuel raspberry if I really need to get zipping and going. I just usually drink it with water
oh, there
to
you go.
hydrate.
I love
Um,
any of the shakes. Today I actually did the chocolate peanut butter cup where I use the peanut butter super shake and I do the chocolate greens. And then for lunch, actually, I doubled up today. I did vanilla peanut butter, vanilla super shake with a
Ooh.
little bit of peanut butter super shake. So you can mix and match these at any time depending on how you're feeling. And, sometimes people may need to do two shakes a day if they're trying to double up the ketchup.
Well, I always put the chocolate greens in there. I can't believe I didn't even say that, but they're my favorite.
You just took it for granted, right? You take it for granted, right? Even their shakes. But let's look at the foundations, right? People know about these. Dr. Bob called them the Magnificent Seven years ago. These are things I trained people on as a American College of Sports Medicine personal trainer. People know these, but they may not know the importance of them. So one, of course, is nutrition. There is no junk food. It's either junk or food. And the easiest way is ask yourself, if I put this on the counter, would it go bad or not? Right?
Mm.
So something like Pop Tarts, no. Broccoli, yes. So if it's real food, you want to eat it, and then we can really customize the program depending on what your goals are and what your health conditions are. But hydration, talk about that because you're playing tennis in 100-degree heat yesterday. Talk about hydration.
Well, it's really important, and it was really funny. You'll appreciate this one. My tennis partner actually said to me, "Make sure you drink enough water because it's really hot out here." I'm like, okay, water's not the only thing. I definitely had my power fuel, and our pro oranges along with my vanilla super shake and water, and I was fine. Like
Yeah,
I really didn't feel the heat like I usually do, right? Like I travel a lot, so sometimes being in a different climate and then coming back to Florida in the middle of summer and playing, you feel it. You could feel it in your chest and just kind of the heaviness of the air. I
yeah.
really didn't feel it this weekend, and that was miraculous because both of my partners told me they had to go home and crash after our matches.
Yeah, and you got to move. They say sitting's the new smoking. Like, there's been a big pushback on smoking in the last generation, but people now are so sedentary with the
Mm.
computers, the social media, the phones, the videos. I mean, people just don't move like they used to. They're not walking like they used to. They're not outside. A couple of friends were in town over the weekend. We saw some kids outside. They go, "Oh my God, it's the first time I've seen kids outside all weekend." You don't see them riding bicycles. You don't see people moving like they used to. So movement is a big part of it. You got to move it, use it, or lose it. So any type of movement is great. A minimum of 30 minutes per day. It could be structured like tennis or Pilates, or it could be, you could just go out for a nice walk, right? So it doesn't always have to be so structured or in the gym. So those are some of the things you have to build off of. And sleep, without a doubt, you can't live without sleep. There's been studies on this, right? When they have like the Navy SEALs going without sleep, they'll hallucinate. People will die younger if they don't sleep every night. People will be overweight. You have all these different conditions tied into lack of sleep. But that's where you recover. That's where your growth hormone and your hormones are rebuilt. That's where your body repairs itself mentally, physically, mind, body, and soul. And a good thing to determine is if you're dreaming or drooling, double D's, dreaming or drooling, that's how you know you're getting a good quality of sleep. Uh,
Oh, all right, good. So if I wake up with a whole bunch of drool on my pillow now, I shouldn't be embarrassed. I should be like, yes, I was asleep.
yeah, embarrassed. Who you embarrassed in front of when you're drooling all night? Yeah,
Just, when you wake up and you're like, wow, I must have been awake
especially
for
from a
that.
nap. I take these power naps, and it's like
Yeah.
you wake up, you don't know where you are. Those are good, folks. A lot of cultures encourage napping, a little siesta in the afternoon. And then you got to eliminate well, right? your body, even if you eat really healthy and you're a healthy person, you have natural metabolic waste products that you need to clear out every day. So you need to make sure you're having bowel movements, urinating, um, perspirating, sweating, exhalation. And then females during their healthy years, with childbearing years, then they should have healthy menstrual cycles. So if you're not detoxifying every day in a healthy way, we need to work on that. And the last part, I'll say for you, emotional wellness. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, energy is supposed to be in motion, right? And when energy is created, it can't be destroyed. It's a scientific fact. It's got to go somewhere. So, emotion is energy in motion. When the energy gets trapped or pools in the body, that's when it causes dis-ease, dysfunction, or dissonance in your frequency, and you have to do something about it, right? Typically, we go see a doctor to try and fix what's wrong. So emotional wellness is incredibly important.
Yeah, we always talk about what we do is we're running for the cause. They've been running for the cure. You ever see they do the 5Ks for cancer and all these things? They haven't caught anything other than a lot of money. So I think people think they have to choose, allopathic versus natural, but you really don't. What you do is need to get everything in order. And it starts with the foundations, starts with the shakes, it starts with the supplements, it starts with all those things first. And then if you're really struggling still, then they should use one medication at a lowest possible dose to get the result. What's going on right now is in place of changing the diet, in place of getting someone to move or drink water, they'll go right to a medication. To give you an example, someone who's got fibromyalgia, maybe they drink a lot of soda, right? They're not giving the body the hydration they need or the nutrients they need. So now they'll give them a medication. Someone who has high blood pressure, like yourself did. Do you mind sharing your story with us?
Yeah, sure. When I first came to Nutritional Frontiers, I was on a blood pressure medication, not too high, but 20 milligrams of something called losartan. And I needed to, once they put you on a medication, they want to keep you on it. That's part of the system, right? So I was shocked to learn that there was a natural way to handle blood pressure. And so I take three of our products today. Our seven flowers, which is an ancient Chinese herbal remedy that's been around for a long, long time.
Ancient Chinese secret.
That's right. So I take our product called Seven Flowers. I also take something called Enter CoQ10, which is a blend of DMG and CoQ10 for the heart. Great, great nutrients. And I also take Circucore, which helps with circulation. And my blood pressure has never been better. So I was excited to learn that I could get myself off of blood pressure medication.
Yeah, because what medical approach is doing is they're focusing on the disease treatment because they got to use an ICD-9 code and diagnose you with something. So that now the only approach is medicine. Then they'll do medicine and surgeries, and they're looking at rehab and supportive care. They never address the underlying causes. They never talk to people about diet. They never talk to people about lifestyle and stress. And they find when they do with functional medicine approach, the results are dramatically different. Much better results with minimum or no side effects. So let's talk about the lineup here. I love it. Astro Cleanse, I take that. I want to talk about it. Beauty Complete, you must take that by the handful.
I actually don't, but thanks,
Oh,
James.
oh, there we go. Pro Purples, we got the Purple Haze Shake going on. We have 2020, of course, and then we have Brain Boost. So these are all important nutrients that will help you. You can't. We're not like trying to be anti anything, but you can age in a healthy, graceful way, so that you can hit your peak in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and some people even in their 80s. Never too late
Mm.
to improve. So Estro Cleanse, what we're trying to do here, and what we are doing, is we're helping process the hormones in the body in a healthy way. For example, you ever hear of estrogen dominant breast cancer?
Yes.
So what happens, you have a buildup of estrogen, and the body does not know what to do with it. So
Mm.
rather than just process it down the healthy way, which is a 2 hydroxyestrone pathway, it'll take it down to 4 and 16. So think about like if you're trying to get from Tampa to the airport, from where you live to the airport. You can walk there, drive there, or take a helicopter or plane, right? The most efficient way would be to drive. It's the safest, most efficient way. Same thing with hormones in the body. There's a way to process them in a healthy way. The problem is insulin and sugar and stress drive the hormone pool
Hmm.
and all the estrogen food. So now what happens is it's like a traffic jam and it has to go down the side streets, which creates more issues: breast cancer, ovarian, uterine, and prostate for a male.
I was
So
just
the
gonna say, doesn't it cause moobs?
yes, moves. Uh-oh. Better watch out.
If you're not processing in a man, if you're not processing estrogen, right, you will develop the more of the breast tissue.
Yeah, and more weight in the thighs and butt. So guys like me that can put weight on easier have higher estrogen levels. So that's why I love Estro Cleanse. And we can't make any claims, but the doctor who created this formula for us, Dr. Franny Perez, MD, ND, and Master in Homeopathy, she uses this as a cancer treatment protocol and prevention.
That's
So again,
awesome.
that's her words, not my words. It
Got it.
also helps with hormone-induced belly fat. So if you're putting on a little bit of weight around the midsection from hormones, take the Estro Cleanse. 1, 2, or 3 caps first thing in the morning does the trick.
Love it. Now,
Second
I
part,
know Beauty Complete is pretty cool because it does have collagen in it, right? A collagen peptide, which I absolutely love. That's one of the reasons why I love our clean collagen protein too. You can't get enough in my book. I also use our collagen creamer with my coffee a lot of times. So I'm a big fan of this one.
yeah, and this is 3 products in one. We have the nutrients in here. We use the synatine, which is the peptide, right? Synatine has a lot of research on hair, skin, and nails and joints. In this example, we're using it more for hair, skin, and nails. But you get that PSE, that positive side effect for joint health too. It's only 2 caps a day. Has a nice high level of biotin, has horsetail in it, has synatine. So it's a nice, unique combination, much more comprehensive than what else is on the market.
One of my absolute favorite testimonials with Beauty Complete, James, is one of our doctors actually gave this to his wife who had alopecia and suffered with alopecia for 20 years. She doesn't like taking any kind of, pills at all, but he convinced her to do at least one Beauty Complete for a year. After that time, she was actually able to grow her hair into a nice bob style
Oh my
and
God.
go to the beauty parlor for the first time in ages. She was
Oh,
thrilled.
I
Thrilled.
love to hear that.
I
Yeah.
also we also took this to a local pharmacy. People had suffered COVID hair loss, right? And for a woman, right, you want to have, well, I know, James, I got the hair, you don't have the hair, but a woman, it's super important, right, to
Thanks
feel
for
like
reminding me. I was wondering. Yeah,
feminine.
thank you.
And the hair is a big part of it. They had COVID hair loss, and it has already started to grow back, and they are absolutely thrilled with the results. So if hair loss is one of the things that you're suffering with, or you want fuller, thicker hair, I would ask that you consider Beauty Complete.
Yeah, and the cool thing is when I was taking it just to try it, I used to do this because my nails were growing so quickly. It was like I had to cut them every week, and I was like, "Man, this is unbelievable." My skin, I can tell. My hair, too late, but you can get other results with it. So great formulation. Synatine is incredible. There's published studies on it. So only 1 or 2 caps a day. One of the probably the unsung hero of our colors line, the Pro Colors, is the Pro Purples. Exotic berries are great for aging. So think of brain, skin, circulation, eyes, and heart. So we took all the exotic berries, we put them into one formula, and added some really unique ingredients, right? We had an alpha GPC, which is great for focus. So if you're suffering from ADD, ADHD, Pro Purples is your answer. Circulation factors, things like PQQ, transresveratrol, they're all in the Pro Purples now. We've fortified this with some really innovative nutrients, and you can put this right in the shake. You can make the purple haze. So you combine this with the vanilla shake, and there you go. So one of our most unique of the colors formula, especially for skin, cognition, circulation, brain, skin, and eyes. And how does it taste?
Oh, it's delicious.
Speaking of eyes, 2020, we looked at the ARED study. That was from the NIH, the age-related eye disease study, and then had the AREDS 2. This is like AREDS 10. We use an ingredient called Lutamax as the base. If you look at the macula of the eye, the center of the eye where most of your vision occurs, is three things in there. There's lutein, RR, and RS zeaxanthin. When you put those together, that matrix, that's Lutamax. There's been over 20 published studies on Lutamax from everything from macular degeneration, eye health, blue lights, headaches, and sleep. Stuff is unbelievable. But we've added other nutrients in here. We've added the activin, the patented grapeseed extract, your ACEs. You like ACEs? You got an ACE in the hole? Vitamin A, C, E, and selenium, right? So this is fortified and very comprehensive 2020. Great for prevention at 1 a day and therapeutic at 3 per day.
Well, what was really fun was we met with a doctor in Texas, Dr. Nanda, and
Yes.
yeah, she's an amazing eye doctor, and she swears by 2020. So she says 2020 for the health of the front of the eye, and SPMs to help with the lubrication of the eye and the back of the eye. So I thought that was a really cool way for her to kind of talk about a protocol that she uses with nearly every single patient she sees.
Yeah, it was fantastic to visit her office. That's why I love being in the field. You get to meet so many unique, intelligent, innovative people, and she's probably one of the most, being that she's an eye doctor by trade, and her office was loaded with functional medicine, you know, options and different types of tools. So I really enjoyed our time in there, and she actually put me in the seat and did some testing and brought some clarity, no pun intended, to some of my eye challenges. So one of the top 10 formulas is Brain Boost. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, well, Brain Boost is really good because it'll help with all the different cognitive factors: memory, focus, attention, decision making, right? Because we put this is actually three products we had originally: Acuity, the original Brain Boost, and we put them together with some more unique ingredients. So you have the B vitamins, then you have a very unique group of herbs in here. So we use things like huperzine A, that's really good with the enzyme that's involved in creating Alzheimer's. So we also use in here the cognitive factors like ginkgo and ginseng, so you get better circulation in the brain. And people love the results on this one. It's only 3 caps per day. You can use it for prevention, and we've actually had some great results for people that actually had some cognitive decline utilizing the Brain Boost with the omega-3D.
Yeah, and I think also with the pro purples, right? As a
Yes.
as a good drink. Well, one of the things I find fascinating is that brain diseases are actually projected to surpass heart disease as the leading cause of death in the
Mm.
United States by the end of this year. That's
Wow.
startling.
Scary. Yes.
I know just in my own family, someone that has gotten a diagnosis of early stages of dementia, and dementia and Alzheimer's are very close. And typically, from an emotional standpoint, that's usually where you feel like a loss of power or the inability to
Mm.
deal with life, like too many suppressed emotions, being overwhelmed with life, maybe wanting to run away to another time and not wanting to be present, feeling lost or confused, and sometimes having anxiety relating to living the way they're living, not liking your life the way it is. And sometimes it's even about a fear of dying or letting go. And so if you
Interesting.
have somebody in your life that's starting to present, signs of Alzheimer's or dementia, certainly you want to take a look at reducing the inflammation. And we just shared with you Brain Boost is a great option, omega 3s, our SPMs, as well as Pro Purples to really
Oh,
try
yeah.
and help reverse the impacts.
So I want to highlight one of the studies on the synetine. That's the peptide in the Beauty Complete. So they actually studied this on hair, skin, and nails. It was a 90-day study with over 25 people. They only gave them 2 capsules of just the synetine, not all the other nutrients in there. And they saw a significant improvement on that dosage in less than 90 days. This is a published study on
Wow.
PubMed. And
Nine
really,
less than 90 days?
yeah, yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So they had a control group of 25 and a placebo group of 25. That way it was a double blind washed out study. So there's no bias, there's no placebo effect. But it was really cool because I used 500 milligrams, which we use in the 2 capsules. Plus, we added biotin and horsetail and all these other things to it to get the synergistic effect. But here's the improvement. You had the synetine group, then you had the placebo group, and it was significantly improved over less than 90 days on the study. So that's the type of nutrients that we're using. The research has been fantastic to look at these things, and Beauty Complete is definitely one of the formulas that we probably can promote a little more, because when people use it, they get incredible results. So here's some testimonials if you want to highlight any of those.
Well, I shared a couple already, but we'll leave with one more. Someone was having, trouble with their mom, like she was in a nursing home for a couple of months until she brought her home, and she started taking Brain Boost and DMG from Nutritional Frontiers, and it's given her a new outlook on life. Her memory is 110% better, and she's happy to get up every morning, and she's definitely a new woman and a new mom. So it's
Oh,
pretty incredible to see the impact that our formulations have. We are making the world healthy, one person at a time.
I love it. Tremendous. And we have a brand new formula, not even on the quarterly focus. We've got to highlight it. And that's the NAD plus. So there's been a lot of research on NAD for sirtuins, which is like longevity factor, looking at it for mitochondrial support, which you mentioned earlier, ATP production, and overall cellular function. But we want to take NAD and adding an ingredient to it. We decided to add the curcumin, which is a trademark curcumin, because that's an anti-inflammatory and it works really well with the NAD together. So we took NAD plus curcumin. There's a tremendous amount of research Mikey G looked up for our team that's available on these two. It's a brand new formula, but only 2 capsules per day will give you a therapeutic dose of the NAD and the curcumin.
That's amazing. Well, I love, that it suggests that it's going to help lengthen our telomeres when you combine those 2 ingredients. And if you don't know anything about that, that means that's that role reversal, right? That's like moving the clock back when we can lengthen the telomeres.
Yeah, you're not familiar with telomeres. Think of like the tips of your shoelaces as a kid, those plastic tips. And when the tip cracked, then the shoelace would kind of disintegrate within the next week or so. The telomeres are very similar and a very, easy explanation. But those telomeres, once they start breaking down, that could be from smoking, stress, toxicity, whatever it may be, really challenging. But the NAD is one ingredient that helps them tighten back up.
It's
So,
also cool, James. One of our favorites, Dr. Joe Dispenza, talks about,
oh,
some scientific studies that were done just through the power of meditation having impacts on lengthening telomeres. So
mm,
can you imagine if you take NAD plus and you meditate? Oh my gosh, we're
I'm
gonna
bringing
we're gonna start reversing the clock.
I'm bringing cases to the Dr. Joe event coming soon. So,
Awesome.
well, thanks, Kristine, so much. You did an incredible job this quarter on educating everybody. So, folks, we're talking about bone joint inflammation first, fitness second, now healthy aging and brain. So, we have all the solutions for you this quarter. Thanks so much for all your support. Thanks for tuning in to the Holistic Truth Podcast.
If this episode spoke to you, please follow the show and share it with someone ready to take charge of their well-being. And if you can, leave us a review. It helps others find our podcast.
For more tools and practitioner support, visit nutritionalfrontiers.com.